Let's get over to the NFC North, where the favorite is the Detroit Lions plus 130, Vikings, who won the division last year, at 3-1, Chicago Bears plus 325, Green Bay Packers plus 450. I repeat, the Green Bay Packers are plus 450. What did you make of how these NFC North teams did in this weekend's draft?
Well, I don't think, look, I'm not a big fan of taking when you have a team that gave up 350 yards rushing to the Carolina Panthers last year, I'm not a big fan of not going offensive or defensive lineman. And clearly, Detroit has a good offensive line. I would have, if I were Detroit, I'd have picked Jalen Carter. I think that would have moved the needle on my team. I would have definitely picked Jalen Carter. I would not have moved down. I would have picked Jalen Carter, or I would have picked Wilson. I would have picked some front seven player. But, they've got to, they think that, was Kaminsky good enough? I mean, Hutchinson played well. Campbell gives them a middle linebacker. I thought Campbell will be a good player, but Campbell's not a rusher. Campbell's not a very good fifth rusher. He's not a fourth rusher. He's not a good fifth rusher. He's kind of more of a coverage. He's a big guy. He's kind of a better version of James Laurinaitis. Remember him back in the day from Ohio State? Yeah. Rangy, not an explosive, but good player. This guy's the Big Ten Player of the Year defensively. That says something for you there. So, and can they cover well enough? I think, to me, I don't know if they move the needle defensively. I love the Martin kid they drafted from Western Kentucky in the third round. Big, physical, he can push the pocket. So, and then I don't know, your Bears team at plus 325. Like, I mean, call me crazy, but I don't understand it. Like, how are they better than the Packers? I mean, just let's talk about this for a second. Honestly, let's take the quarterback out of it. The Packers are better defensively than the Bears.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bears are still not very good defensively. And the Bears offensively, they drafted the right kid. Okay, he'll play right tackle. I mean, who's playing left tackle? Braxton Jones? I mean, are they any good in the offensive line? They gave up 91 sacks the last 2 years. All right, so they got Claypool, who they overpaid for. Clearly they did. Right? And they've got DJ Moore. Okay, that's good. I mean, tell me why this team why are they plus 325? This is, to me, an overinflated number based on the quarterback.
Yeah.
Based on a quarterback who's won 4 games the last 2 years. Based on a quarterback who's fumbled 28 times, who's been sacked 91 times. I mean, how is this? We're just not looking at the data. We're projecting him to make this giant jump, and I think it's a fake number. I mean, they're not that close to Minnesota. They're just not.
It's a projection going forward on Justin Fields, expecting him to take that mother may I step forward. Because if he does, this team is going to be very competitive in that division. But now we have to wait for that to happen. We can't just assume that it's going to happen. But this number is kind of making that assumption. I think Green Bay at plus 450 is interesting.
I think they're a good player for plus 450. I mean, I'm not in love with LaFleur as the head coach. Can he manage the game? But they're better on defense than the Vikings, the Bears, and frankly, the Lions in terms of their personnel.
Now, we are making a little bit of an assumption on Jordan Love as well, though, to be fair.
We're making an assumption on Justin Fields, too. We're making an assumption that Kirk Cousins is going to play as good, and we're making an assumption that Jared Goff isn't going back to the Jared Goff we know with the Rams. We're making a lot of assumptions.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.